The energy islands herald a new era in offshore wind energy generation, intending to create a green energy supply for Danish and foreign electricity grids. The islands, which will operate as green power plants at sea, are expected to play a significant role in the phase-out of fossil fuel energy sources in Denmark and Europe. Denmark's politicians have approved a plan to build a massive island with enough energy to power 3 million homes. In today's video, we get the details of this project and the controversies and political issues it had. So make sure to watch till the end and subscribe for more. Here we begin. The world's first energy island will be the size of 18 football fields or 120,000 square meters, but it could be 3 times that size. It will house 200 massive offshore wind turbines. It is the largest construction project in Danish history, costing an estimated 210 billion kroner or $34 billion. The artificial island, located 80 kilometers out at sea, would be owned partially by the state and the private sector. It will supply electricity to Danes and neighboring countries' power grids. Although those countries have not yet been identified, Professor Jacob Ostergaard of the Technical University of Denmark told the BBC that the UK, Germany, and the Netherlands could all benefit. Green hydrogen would also be available in shipping, aviation, manufacturing, and heavy transport. A smaller energy island is already being planned off the coast of Bornholm in the Baltic Sea, east of Denmark. Agreements have already been signed to supply electricity from there to Germany, Belgium, and the Netherlands. The European Union announced plans last November for a 25-fold increase in offshore wind capacity by 2050, followed by a 5-fold increase by 2030. Renewable energy meets roughly 1/3 of the EU's current electricity needs. While the location of the new island is being kept under wraps, it is known that it will be 80 kilometers into the North Sea. According to Danish TV, a Danish energy agency study last year identified 2 areas west of the Jutland coast with relatively shallow sea depths of 26 to 27 meters. How did it all start? TenneT Netherlands, TenneT Germany, and Energinet signed an agreement in March 2017 to develop a large-scale trans-European renewable energy system in the North Sea, with the potential to supply up to 100 million European citizens with renewable energy by 2050. According to the 3 companies, establishing an artificial power link island such as Doggerbank would have numerous advantages. The site offers ideal wind conditions and shallow water depths for offshore wind turbine operation. The expectation from the project. A power link island would enable nearshore connections, lowering costs at the otherwise remote location, with the potential for up to 100 gigawatts of wind energy generation. Furthermore, the generated wind energy could be distributed via direct current cable connections to all countries bordering the North Sea: the Netherlands, Denmark, Germany, the United Kingdom, Norway, and Belgium. Finally, these same cables could act as interconnectors between the energy markets of the countries involved, allowing them to buy and sell electricity. According to the Danish Ministry of Climate, Energy and Utilities, the potential size of a project so far out at sea would enable green energy production on a previously unseen scale. This could help to balance the supply variability that the connected countries might otherwise experience from their renewable energy sources. The island's electricity could also be converted to electrofuels via power-to-X technologies for use in industries that cannot directly use renewable energy. For example, according to the ministry's analysis, an island with 10 gigawatts of power generation capacity could produce enough renewable fuel to fully supply all ships and airplanes that refuel in Denmark. How did it help out Denmark? Denmark has committed to a 70% reduction in 1990 greenhouse gas emissions by 2030 and to becoming CO2 neutral by 2050 under the Climate Act. It announced in December that it would cease all new oil and gas exploration in the North Sea. Energy Minister Dan Jorgensen says the country is simply changing the map. Prof. Ostergaard told the BBC, "This is enormous. It's a significant step forward for the Danish wind turbine industry. We were first on land, then offshore, and now we're taking the next step with energy islands, which will keep Danish industry at the forefront." Dansk Energy, a green energy group, said that while the dream was on its way to becoming a reality, it doubted the North Sea island would be operational by the planned start date of 2033. The project also had international partnerships. Since December 2020, the governments of the Netherlands, Germany, Belgium, and Luxembourg have all entered into agreements with the government of Denmark to expand cooperation in offshore wind energy, including potentially the energy island in the North Sea. Belgian transmission system operator Elia and EnergyNet announced in February 2021 that they had signed an agreement to evaluate the feasibility of a hybrid interconnector connecting Belgium and Denmark via the North Sea island by the end of 2021. Tine van der Straten, Belgian Minister of Energy, and Dan Jorgensen, Danish Minister of Climate, Energy and Utilities, signed a Memorandum of Understanding in November 2021 to establish a connection between Belgium and Denmark via the Danish energy island in the North Sea. Elia and EnergyNet also agreed to start formal feasibility studies on the project. The energy ministers of Germany, the Netherlands, Belgium, and Denmark signed an agreement in May 2022 to establish the island with 3 gigawatts of wind power and connections to Belgium and Denmark by 2033, expand the island's capacity to 10 gigawatts by 2040, and plan additional connections to Germany and the Netherlands. The Dutch and Danish ministers also signed a bilateral agreement to jointly develop a concept for either an electricity interconnector or a hydrogen pipeline between the island and the future energy hub in the Dutch North Sea, as well as potential connections to the UK and Norway, with the goal of completion in 2035. But getting involved internationally was not enough, but political agreements were there for the island. The Danish parliament agreed on the basic framework for constructing an energy island in the North Sea in February 2021. With an estimated total cost of 210 billion kroner, the project will be the largest construction project in Denmark's history, roughly 5 times the cost of the Great Belt Fixed Link. Initially, the island will have a wind power capacity of 3 gigawatts, enough to power approximately 3 million European households. In the long run, the island's capacity could be increased to 10 gigawatts, enough to power approximately 10 million households. The facility will be designated as critical infrastructure, with the state required to retain a majority stake, while one or more private investors must hold a minority stake. EnergyNet and relevant international partners will build and own the electrical transmission system connecting the island to neighboring countries. The island will be designed so that facilities for storing energy received on the island and converting it into fuel products for use in shipping, aviation, industry, and heavy-duty vehicles can be installed. With the initial capacity, the island is expected to have a total area of at least 120,000 square meters, roughly the size of 18 standard football pitches. If the island is expanded to its full 10 gigawatts capacity, it will have a total area of 460,000 square meters, which is roughly equivalent to 64 football fields. Depending on the procurement outcome, the surrounding wind farm could initially consist of up to 200 very large wind turbines, each with an expected height of more than 260 meters. If expanded to full capacity, the number of wind turbines could reach 650. On the basis of the political agreement, the Danish Energy Agency submitted to public consultation in July 2021 a proposal for a law on the design and construction of the energy island in the North Sea. Political agreement was reached in September 2021 on additional framework provisions in preparation for the tender for the island. It was decided that the project would be organized as a corporation, with the state owning at least 50.1% of the shares and a private partner owning no more than 49.9%. The private partner and the concrete design and execution of the project will be selected through a single overall tender. Thus, it will be up to private investors, developers, and other relevant parties to band together and form appropriate bids for the entire project. It was also decided that bidders should be able to define island spaces that can be flexibly rented out for innovative commercial purposes like energy storage, power-to-X generation, or data center operations. Profits from the project will be split between the state and a private partner based on their stakes in the corporation. Dan Jorgensen, the Danish Minister for Climate, Energy and Utilities, presented the proposed law on the design and construction of the North Sea Energy Island to the Danish Parliament in October 2021. The proposal was passed into law by the Parliament on November 25, 2021, with 98 votes in favor and 4 votes against. Let us know your views in the comments below and subscribe for more.